Okay, and we are live. So to start, I'm going to, actually I was going to start with candy melts, but we're going to start with the caramel instead. Okay, today we're making some pretzel rod treats. And let me get my gloves on. Hello, thank you for joining. Okie dokie. So, I made some pretzel treats before, but I'm going with pretzel rods today for something a little bit different. So, they're like obviously giant pretzel sticks. And I have some caramel here. And this is actually something I was playing around with, a pumpkin spice caramel. So I just added some pumpkin pie spice flavor into it. So it doesn't taste like pumpkin, it tastes like pumpkin spice. And I need a knife. My paring knife decided to hide from me. That's okay. Okay. So we have our caramel here. And I'm just going to cut kind of like little strips of it. We can break off pieces and do all that kind of stuff. But just to make it a little bit easier to kind of break some pieces off here. Because we're also going to want to set these, let them cool for a little bit. So I'm going to get a tray ready here so I can stick these in the fridge once we have some caramel on them. Okay, so hello, how are you? Caramel is so good, yes. I'm watching while working on a cookie. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see your cookies are so gorgeous. And your cakes too, but I cannot do the cookies. I have a lot of patience for so many things, but for some reason the cookies just, I can't do them. But yours are absolutely fabulous. I got a couple pretzel rods here, and then I'm going to take some of the caramel. And I'm just going to rip some pieces off here. Because we're going to be kind of like shaping this anyway, so it doesn't matter if it looks pretty or if it's all together. Get back in there. Hello from Wyoming. Hello. Thank you for joining. So I have this piece of caramel here, and it's a little bit thick. I might break some of it off, but I'm going to kind of roll it into kind of like a little caramel rope here. So this is a really fun way to add something from, or some different kind of flavor and also a different kind of shape, because you could certainly just dip these in some candy melt, some chocolate, whatever you want to do. But they're definitely, it started to break right there. So I'm going to re-roll this part really quick. It's a lot more fun to have some kind of different flavors and shapes on it. So this is a great way to add, you can also just buy a caramel from the store, but of course I like to make my cookie butter salted caramel, and I like to kind of play around with it a little bit. I'm watching while doing a drug and alcohol course before I can get my license. Oh, wow. That's important though. You can always catch the replay. That's a very important thing that you should be watching. Hello, how are you? Still a bit on the thick side. I think I'm going to take some of this off. Just trying to roll it out. Get a little bit thinner here. This is the most tedious part of these, but they add good flavor. And like I said, they make it a little bit more fun. Okay, so I'm gonna take one of my pretzel rods, and then I'm just going to kind of start at the top, maybe kind of wrap around the back side, and then we're just gonna wrap. And just kind of slowly turn and wrap. And you can make it a little bit tighter, you can make it a little bit, more spread out, so however you wanna do it. Just like that. So we're gonna set that on our tray here, and I'll do a couple more. Okay, come on. Lily, you can't have a pretzel, I'm sorry. My dog's like, hello, I want something. Okay, just rolling, rolling, rolling. You could also have some kind of fun with it too. I did some pretzel rod ones a couple years ago, and I kind of used the caramel. Actually, at that point, I was doing like a butterscotch modeling chocolate, which worked pretty well, I think, overall, but also caramel is delicious. So, of course, I was very excited to use this today. But I actually did kind of shape it like different ways and did different patterns on it. It does take some time, but it looks really cool. Today, we're just going to keep it simple and just do some nice little caramel wraps on it. And have some fun. And then just like before, we're going to do a nice little wrap here. And you can certainly do these with pretzel sticks too. I actually did some for, and so you can do pretzel sticks, just obviously you're going to use very little caramel, but you can also go a little bit further, but we also want to have a spot to like kind of hold. So that's why I leave a little bit of space at the bottom there. And actually I think I'm going to do 2 plain and 2 couple plain, couple wrapped. So we're going to take these gloves off. Because it gets very, very messy when you're trying to roll out the caramel. But I'm going to stick the ones that we just wrapped with caramel. Usually I would just do the fridge, but I'm going to do the freezer just to speed it along a little bit more. And then we're going to start to melt down our candy melts. Come on. This glove doesn't want to come off. Oh my gosh. Glove is being stubborn today. Come on. There we go. Okie doke. So we've got our 2 little pretzel rods here, and we're gonna stick those into the freezer. Okay. And then we're done with our caramel at the moment. And we're going to start to melt down our candy melts. I think with these ones, well, let me see. I was going to do just chocolate, but let me see if I want to use some vanilla ones. Okay, So I want to try something really quick, and I'll determine what we dip some of these in. That was freaky. Okay, we're all good. Did you break something? A little tower of bowls that was like right at the edge there. But we're all good, nothing broke. So I'm adding some vanilla melts into a bowl here that's heat safe. And these are those Sam's Club Members Mark white vanilla melting wafers that I've been playing around with. And I want to see, when I tried to dye some of the chocolate melts with this black Color Mill food coloring, this is oil-based, so it mixes better into the candy melts. It doesn't seize the candy melts when you actually mix it in there, like it does when you have a water-based food coloring. So I want to see if it works better with the white melts, because it didn't really work as well with the dark chocolate melting wafers as I expected. So I want to see really quick how this works. And in the meantime, I'm also gonna get some chocolate melts ready. I'm using the dark chocolate Ghirardelli ones here. I'll do some more dipping treats later, so I'm gonna be pretty generous with the amount there. And then we're gonna start to melt these once our white melts are completely ready to go. Oh, hello, thank you for joining. Check on this. Okay, I'm only doing a little bit to start just because I want to see if this will work. If it doesn't, then no, there's not very many, melts that we have that were affected by it. Although I can certainly mix this into other stuff if it doesn't work. Okay. That looks so good. Thank you. Let's see. And we're of course going to decorate these with some fun Halloween sprinkles. And what I love about, pretzel rods and dip treats in general is you can very easily customize them to each holiday that you're making them for. Just got to switch up your colors and your sprinkles. And they're super easy and quick. And they're also no bake. So for people who don't really like to do the baking side of things, this is great for people that love no bake stuff. Okay, looks like we're fully melted. So I'm gonna start to melt down our chocolate in the meantime. Okay, and let's try this out. Let's do a few. Let's try that first. Because usually when you make like a buttercream, you want to go with a chocolate and then add some black to it because it'll help to like deepen it. But I mean, already this is like a better color than what I've had before. Let me see if I add a little bit more. I just want like a really nice, like jet black candy melt. And even in the pre-done candy melts, it's really hard to find a good deep, deep dark color. We're getting better. I mean, still already I love this color better. It's a nice kind of deep charcoal color. Let me add some more. I think it'll be fun to at least do one of the pretzel rods with this. And I can add some more food coloring. I'm very new to trying out the oil-based colorings. I finally just got that recently, so I'm still kind of playing around with it. I want to eat that so bad. All right, we're mixing up our chocolate melts here. Of course, they just barely started to melt. I only did 30 seconds. I love to do, you know, I start with about 30 seconds and then I'll kind of see how much they're melting, and I'll do another 20 to 30 seconds and then kind of keep decreasing it from there. It's easier to get the black if you start with blue. I don't know. Oh, interesting. Thank you so much. I definitely need to try that then, because I really want that, you know, like the color on the bottle. I want that like gorgeous jet black kind of color. So thank you for the tip. That is my friend A Frosted Life. Go check her out on Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. And I believe you have a YouTube channel too, so go check her out there too. Okay, I'm gonna pop these back in the microwave while we stir up our other ones. I'm very curious. I wonder if I have some blue powder stuff, but let me grab this out of the microwave. But I'm definitely gonna need to, a powder should work for chocolate. Okay. Thank you so much for that tip, because it's been driving me nuts. Like I really want a really nice black and it's not helping me here. It's kind of like a nice, almost like tombstone cement kind of color. Another baking channel. Yeah, she makes amazing cakes and cookies. Definitely go check her out. All right, this is pretty much melted, and then we're gonna mix up our chocolate. Okay, this needs just a little bit more, so I'm gonna do another, 15 seconds or so. It doesn't need much. Okie dokie. These do feel a tad thick. I'm gonna add a little bit more of our coloring here to darken it up a little bit. Okay. I'm happy with that, but I can feel it it feels a little bit thick, so I'm gonna stick it back in the microwave for another 15 seconds or so. And we have our chocolate. the black, I would start with dark chocolate, but I know you said you wanted to try with white. So with white, I would start with blue. I actually did try dark chocolate melts a couple weeks ago, I think, with the color mill. And it was like, no matter how much I added, it still just kind of looked like a darker chocolate. It didn't turn into any kind of like black or anything. Because usually that's what I've tried in the past and it's kind of worked. And this one just, it was not wanting to work with me. If you want the chocolate to be black, use food coloring. That's what I'm using as an oil-based food coloring so it doesn't seize the chocolate. It worked for me. I was making marshmallow spider treats yesterday and it worked like a charm. Yeah, but I'm gonna try the blue tip. Not right now because we're gonna move along, but I'm definitely gonna try that probably later today because I have just been really wanting to, have that gorgeous color for Halloween. Okay, those both look nice. And let's do dipping our plain ones here, and then I'll grab the other ones out of the freezer because they should be ready. Let me see how they're doing. Oh yeah. Those are nice and solid. It's actually a pretty color how it is right now. I like this too. It's like a nice kind of deep charcoal. This would be a great one for, like a tombstone or something like that. I actually do have a tombstone cake school mold that I've been really wanting to use, so I think I know what I'm doing later. Okay, here it is. There's no stickiness. It's all nice and firmed up. So now we can, actually, I think I'm gonna keep my pan down here so I can pop them on there, and then we can pop them in the fridge to set the candy melts just a little bit faster. Okay, all right, quick sip of my coffee here. Okay. And of course I gotta be festive. My coffee's in a Halloween cup. And also my water too. I love this cup so much. I mentioned this one before when I posted a cake video, and I love, love, love this cup. And I love the cake that I made that was inspired by the cup. Okay, so we have our chocolate candy melts here. And you could add these to like a tall cup that's kind of also heat safe with the microwave. I need to get some of those to make it a little bit easier because then you can just dip it right in, you're done. But with these, I am just going to, yeah, I'm gonna use the color for this one. I just kind of go over like this and I leave a little, handle, if you will, so that you don't get chocolate on your fingers. And of course, if your candy melts are too thick, you could certainly use some Paramount crystals, or I use a little bit of vegetable oil, but as I'm finding out, I think that actually can cause some streaks. When you kind of melt it later and then redo something with it, it kind of can do that. So then we're just going to just kind of scrape off that little excess. We don't want, a pool of chocolate on the bottom. And then we're just gonna set it right on our tray. Just like that. And see, you don't see any pooling because we scraped off the extra. And if you don't do that, then it's gonna have that, extra that doesn't look as good. So we're also gonna dip this one in there as well. Actually, let's do 1 and 1. Okay. So I'm grabbing this one, and then we're going to just do the same thing. Just making sure we get completely covered everywhere. And then, oh, there's a little air bubble, go away. And I can kind of like, you know, shake it, tap it on the side just to, and I like to have, sometimes when I do these candy melts and I kind of tap it with like at an angle, it gets this weird kind of textured look. So I tap it so that whatever we're going to see on top is going to be just flat, and then just go tap, tap, tap like this. And then carefully scrape off that extra just like we did before and set it on our tray. This one wants to lean a little bit. That's okay. Okay, we've used our chocolate ones, and now I'm gonna cover a couple with our kind of more like cementy color. I'm gonna take our plain one and just do the same thing. Super easy peasy. Hello, how am I doing today? Thank you, I'm doing well. How are you? My day is going pretty well and busy. Sometimes, of course, yes. It's just crazy to me that it's already past the halfway point for October. How is Halloween less than 2 weeks away at this point? It's like there's so much buildup and like excitement for it, and then it just feels like it comes so quick. It's like, no, you came too quick. I want more time to enjoy. Especially because I love spooky season. Okay, and then do the same thing. Carefully remove that excess. Get off. There you go. And we're gonna put it on our tray. And you also don't want to move it around. You want to like set it down and then just leave it, or else it's going to kind of start to spread a little bit. Like this gray one here, you can see like a little tiny bit of pooling kind of on this side. If you can get the light right there. It's because I kind of barely moved it just a little bit. So you want to avoid moving it around once you get it on the tray until it's completely set. Okay, let's cover our last one. This really one is pretty. Thank you. I love what that color I need to make and decorate cookies or something. Yes, I always prefer if there's like a gray color, I love a deep kind of charcoal color. So pretty. Just making sure all of our little nooks and crannies get covered here. And like I said, if you have like a really tall heat safe cup, perfect to just dip it and you're good. But this is how I work with it with the bowls. Okay. And then we do our same little tap, tap, tap right above our bowl, trying to keep everything in our bowl here so it's not too messy. Okay, let's scrape off that excess. And carefully set it on the tray. But these pretzel rods want to kind of lean to the side. Okay. So I'm going to take these. They're still all, like you can see this one is starting to set just a little bit because you start to see that glossiness go away. But I'm going to pop these into our refrigerator really quick so it'll set them a little bit faster. I'm not doing freezer just because if you have a drastic temperature drop, then you're actually going to have the possibility of the chocolate cracking, which is not good, of course. So you want to be careful when going from, you know, hot enough chocolate to dip into, putting it in the freezer. Depending on what you're making, it can definitely affect the outcome with cracking, and you don't want that because it's just annoying. I change my profile picture. Some days I change it. And the gray one's the spooky for Halloween. Oh, yes. I'm very excited that I was able to get the food coloring to start playing around with it. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be playing around with it even more with some tips. And let's get our sprinkles out. So that should only be a couple minutes to set. So I have, you know, some classic Halloween sprinkles here. And then, ooh, haha. I have these that Wilton sent me. So these are little cute icing decorations that are obviously a little bit more gory. But we have our like kind of butcher's knife here and like a chef's knife here and an axe right here. So we can stick one of those on there for decoration to have something a little bit different. What else? Ooh, actually. Hold on. I got some sprinkles and some stuff from a company, and I just thought that this would be super cute. These are little fondant slices, and so the little witch hat on one of them would be super duper cute, especially because I think this one, here, these are the sprinkles I got from them. All of them are really cute, but of course, like I love pink and black for Halloween, but also I love traditional colors too, and I have a thing for nonpareils. So this is probably like one of my favorite ones to use, but I also do love this one that has like the little witch's finger in there and all that kind of stuff. But I think I'm gonna go with this one and a fondant slice for one of our decorations. Glad I came to your live stream today before too late. I am so glad that you made it too. Okay, what other sprinkles do I want to use? I got some more ghosties right here from Wilton, so I might use those. I haven't used these as much, but I'm not sure that I want to use them with the pretzel rods today. Ooh. I think I want to use one of these decorations and then add some red nonpareils to kind of, you know, represent like the blood. But which one do we want to use? I'm kind of thinking, what do you guys think? I think the axe, because it's like a little bit smaller, so it might go a little bit better on the, on our pretzel rod here. I have missed your live videos a lot, so I had to make sure I was in today. Thank you so much for making sure that you're in here today. I hope your class is going well, though. I hope that you're still able to get all the information that you need, because all that stuff is very important when you get your license. Okay. What else? Oh, and I also have a piping bag here so that we can do some drizzle if we want to on some of them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do drizzle on probably most of them. Ideally, if you want to add something simple like sprinkles, then we want to add this right when you dip them. But I think I want to do just the drizzle over the top, because sometimes when I do that, it gets too many sprinkles on there and it's not as fun to eat. So that's why I'm doing just the drizzle today. And let me grab another piping bag. Finished now is just the beginning. Oh, okay, gotcha. I love all the sprinkles. Thank you. Yes, I was so excited to get those from that company. When they were like, oh, do you want some Halloween stuff? I was like, you don't have to ask me twice. Because I love Halloween. And of course, I love seeing all the different fun sprinkles that they have. Okay, let's get my little witch fondant slice out here. A couple of them are broken, so I'm trying to make sure I don't grab one that's broken. There we go. There's your cute little witch's hat. Okay, let's grab our stuff. All right, awesome. They are set. So you can see that like that glossiness has gone away. It kind of has like a matte finish essentially. So we're all good. And this one has very little pooling on it. This one has a little bit more because it did kind of like lean over after I set it down. but it's still delicious. This one, like I said, you can kind of break those off a little bit if you want the pooling to go away. So you can kind of go in and, you know, or just kind of, sometimes I'll kind of roll it on some parchment paper to help kind of break it off a little bit. So that cleans it up a little bit. I'm not going to do like the whole thing right now, but just the pieces that are kind of bugging me. Okay. But of course, if you're selling stuff, I believe gloves are mandatory, but these are just for funsies for you guys. Okay. So let's check on our chocolate, see if it's still melty enough or if we need to reheat it. I can feel that it's a little bit on the thick side. So I'm going to pop it in the microwave just for about, you know, it's still pretty runny, but when I run my spoon through it, I can feel a little bit thicker. So I think it's going to be about 15 seconds. We don't need very much on that one. And then let's try, this one kind of has a similar feel. So I'm gonna heat this up again for another, only about 15 seconds or so. I think I want, let's see, where would you look best? What do you guys think? Does it pop more on the chocolate or on the gray? I'm kind of thinking gray. Gray with the red sprinkles and that little axe thing. Hello, thank you so much for joining. I love your videos about the advent calendar with marshmallows. It's so cool for some of your... Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're enjoying them. I'm actually, fingers crossed, hoping that I can get the Christmas advent calendar. I know it's like really, really early, but companies drop them super early. And the company that I really want to get one from this year is, they only release like 100 of them. So fingers crossed that I can get the one that I really want because it's freeze-dried candy, so that's really cool and I've been wanting to try it. So here's to hoping that I'm able to get in on the website when they drop today. Okay, I want to heat our cement up really quick. I say cement, but it's it's candy melts. It just kind of looks like cement. Okay. What is that? Hello. These are pretzel rods, and a couple of them have like a caramel wrapped around it, and then they're just dipped in some candy melts. This is dark chocolate. This is vanilla, and we're gonna decorate them with some sprinkles now for Halloween. Thank you for joining. Okay. I think I want to do our little, you know, morbid one here first. I'm going to shift these over just a smidge. Because when I drizzle, I don't want, thinking which is going to go with one of the chocolate ones. What sprinkles do we want for this one? Should we do ghosties? Kind of lean towards ghosties. Let's do ghosties. Okay, and then we want to make sure we have our sprinkles like basically lined up, ready to go before we start putting our stuff down, because it is very difficult to, you know, go back and kind of put stuff on there once the candy melts have set. So you want to be ready to go with that. I think I also want to do some eyeballs. That kind of sounds fun. And for this one, do I want you there? What do we think? I'm thinking here. Okay, so just kind of lining up some sprinkles here for the different things. Okay, so now we're going to get a piping bag, and we're going to stick some of our candy melts in here. And we actually don't need that much, so you don't have to pour like the whole bowl in there. You know, this is even a very generous amount. So I think I'm liking the idea of doing this one. Since it's a little bit of a bigger icing decoration, I think I want to do this one and then some red nonpareils up the rest of the pretzel rod stick. Okay, with our candy melts in the piping bag, we're gonna cut just a teensy bit of the tip off. We don't want to do very much because you can always cut a little bit more off, but you can never go back and uncut. I want a nice thin drizzle. So if you can see that, very, very small, just teeny tiny amount that I just cut that. And now we're going to do a quick drizzle over the top, and I'm gonna go kind of like at an angle a little bit to make it look a little bit more interesting. It's kind of boring if it's just across like that. So let's go. It's a little bit more generous than I usually do, but I want to make sure there's plenty of space to stick our nonpareils on here. And before they set, I want to make sure we stick our thing on right here. Just like that. I did a craft with monsters for Halloween. It's on my window cling and they're so cute. Oh, that's so awesome. Hello, do you know what to do? Do you know how to do strawberry one? Can you, what do you mean by strawberry one? Do you mean like flavoring candy melts, or what exactly is your question so I can answer it properly? Okay, since we have this in our piping bag already, I'm gonna do a drizzle on the second one. And with this one, I'm gonna still keep it at an angle. I like an angle. Just being very generous. That one didn't come in. It's like this one spot that refused to have some candy melts on it. Okay, working quickly, we are going to add our, I think I want to do the little ghosties on this one. Just going to add little ghosts up the side. Have them going in different directions too. And also the lovely thing about adding decorations like sprinkles on top is you can cover up any imperfections. If there's something that you're kind of like, oh no, that got messed up, you can easily hide it with your sprinkles. Last one right there. Okay. And then for our candy melts, we can either let them set in the bag or we can pipe them back into our bowl, but that takes a little while. So I'm just gonna leave this to the side and we're gonna scooch the parchment paper over so you can see the ones over here. So I'm thinking I wanna do the witch's hat with this one. So we're gonna grab our other piping bag. And I wanna add some of our dark chocolate melting wafers in there. And it still feels nice and smooth. It doesn't feel like it's thickening up at all at the moment, which is good. If it did, we'd have to pop it back in the microwave again. And once again, we don't need a ton of candy melts, just enough to drizzle. How many subscribers do you want on here? Great question. I am not sure exactly. I mean, of course, I would love to have in the future, you know, silver play button, even a gold play button at some point. But I am just kind of, I don't know, more along for the ride, I guess. I'm trying not to, you know, set my sights on specific numbers necessarily, besides those key ones for YouTube. Yeah, just more, I like making stuff with you guys and having you join me along the way. So That is always fun. Okay, and we have our sprinkles here ready to go. I'm gonna take the cap off so that we're ready to sprinkle this one once we do our drizzle. And we're just gonna go, come on, drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. Making sure it gets generously covered. There we go. And then we're going to add, I think I'm gonna add my little fondant piece on here. I think it looks better like right there. And then we're going to add our nonpareils here. And then with this excess candy melts and sprinkles and stuff, you don't have to throw it away. You can use it for something else. If it doesn't have any sprinkles, you can just pop it back in and remelt it with the rest of the candy melts that you have. Or if it has sprinkles in it, you could just kind of collect those with a couple projects and then remelt them and make like a bark or something. So you can always reuse it. You don't have to just get rid of it because you used it for this and then, oh no, it has sprinkles in it. I'm gonna try and make sure we use it up as much as we can. Okay, I think that looks good. I am a sucker for classic Halloween colors. Okay, and then the last one. How should we decorate the last one? Do you want to just do some sprinkles? Or I could do eyeballs up the pretzel rod. Lean towards eyeballs, that sounds kind of fun. Yeah, let's do eyeballs. Okay. Once again, we're doing a nice little thin drizzle on here and just going back and forth very quick. And you can make it like very little drizzle. You can make it a bunch of drizzle, kind of like I'm doing here. What I love about drizzle is it's super easy, but it makes things look so fancy. Okay, we're gonna add, oh, that eyeball's messed up. I'm gonna add little sets of eyeballs along our, oop, come back. Along our pretzel rod here, which is gonna be kind of a little bit challenging, but we just have to press down so that they don't slide right off. I'm gonna go try and stick it slightly to the side. I do kind of like some angles too. These always make me think of Scooby-Doo, like that intro. Oh, okay. I need my tweezers for this one. Come here. Oop. Okay. There we go. And just a couple more. I'll do this one kind of to the side a little bit. stay. Okay, and one more up here. And there we go. Oh, these look delicious. I love chocolate pretzels, and the brown ones would be great for edible ones. Yes, thank you for stopping by the live today. I actually did do a video a couple years ago on making pretzel rod wands, so that is on my channel. I think it's in a video by itself when I was doing a 30-day video challenge for myself, where I did 30 tutorial videos in 30 days, and it was insanity, but that was one of the videos that I did. And I did, I wrapped this one with a pumpkin spice caramel. This one, or pumpkin spice cookie butter salted caramel. It's a very long, long title. But basically a nice caramel wrap with this one. With those ones, I did a butterscotch modeling chocolate wrapped around it, which was still very delicious. But those are very fun, yes. And I actually, to add some texture with doing the pretzel rod ones, I take like a fork or something, and I kind of, or if you have like a brush or something that you can use just for food. I've seen this technique with some people who do like really amazing chocolate work, but you just basically kind of like scrape along the chocolate to give it some texture and make it actually, it kind of starts to look like wood grain. If you can, you know, kind of practice and do a little bit like that. Same, I want a gold play button and silver. Be a nice person to have that. Well, you're a good person anyway. It doesn't, you don't have to have a play button to be a good person, but it definitely is a nice little incentive to keep growing on YouTube for sure. But at the moment, I'm just going along for the ride and enjoying all this kind of stuff, and excited at opportunities that are lying ahead, and seeing where this kind of stuff goes. But this is it for our pretzel rod one, or I was gonna say wands. These are it for our pretzel rods today. What do you guys think? Which one is your favorite? I'll try and angle it so you can see all of them in there. So we have our like little axe one over here. This one's set now. So there's that one. And then, like I said, this is just a little icing decoration from Wilton. Simple one with our little ghosties here. And then I'm kind of partial to this one. I love the colors and the little fondant slice witch hat there. This one's still kind of setting a little bit, but I also like the eyeballs too, kind of fun. Those look so pretty. Thank you so much. Those sound amazing. I'll absolutely check them out. Thank you. And I love making holiday treats, especially Halloween, and yours are a huge inspiration. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. These look great. Thank you for the live. Thank you so, so much for joining. If you missed any part of it, of course, this will go up as a replay on my channel. And as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know right now, or when you catch the replay later in the comments there. If you have any questions at the moment, feel free to ask them. But thank you guys so much for joining today. We have only one more live before Halloween, which makes me really sad because this is my favorite time of year. I love the whole holiday season. I love Christmas too, but there's something about Halloween every year that I just get more and more excited and attached to. So what's your favorite dessert? For me, I love Buckeyes and cover white chocolate with pretzels. Ooh, those are both good. If I had to pick one specific favorite dessert, it would have to be ice cream. There's something about ice cream. I don't know if it's because both my grandmas loved ice cream when I was a kid. And when I would spend, you know, some days with one grandma and then some days with my other grandma, both of them always had like some kind of ice cream type thing. So I'm sure that that somehow influenced me, but there's something about ice cream that just kind of, you know, hits the spot. And besides that, I love, weirdly enough, like I love something that like is simple, kind of like, you know, a nice fudgy brownie or a nice really gooey cookie. I don't know, I guess for my specifically favorite desserts to eat myself, those are my favorite go-tos. I have to go. I'm trying my homecoming dress on for next Friday. Oh, have fun with that. That sounds awesome. Thank you so much for joining again, and I will see you very soon. If anyone else has any other questions or anything else I'd like to pop in the chat before we hop off here, thank you guys for also coming on a different day than usual. I feel like my schedule has been kind of all over the place here and there lately, but what's your favorite holiday? Mine's Halloween and Christmas. Like I mentioned, I love the whole holiday season, you know, like how we have Halloween, and then we have, you know, like our nice kind of fall time, and then goes into Christmas. I've just always loved the whole season, but I feel like more and more every year Halloween is inching towards being my favorite holiday, with Christmas being a very, very close second. Um, I don't know, I just love spooky season so much. It's just like even the decorations just give me so much joy. Um, yeah. And I am working on, of course, more shorts videos, more fun stuff coming up. And also, finally, tutorial videos have been a little bit quite delayed actually this season, because things have been a bit nuts. So I am hoping to get at least a couple of those up before Halloween. And then we're going to go into a couple, you know, fall ones, and then for sure some Christmas ones. But I just can't believe fall is going by so fast right now. Bye, see ya. Love you so much, and I'll always be supporting your channel. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. If no one else has any more questions or comments to pop into the chat, that is all we have for today. And like I said, we will have one more live before Halloween, and I will be updating about other content coming out. So make sure to keep an eye out on the community tab as well for those updates. But thank you guys so, so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day and rest of your week. And I will see you very soon. Bye.